Is it all working right? Blue star, yep. So I've got my doobity doo and a doobity doo. Hang on a minute, I'm losing my marbles here. Should be live streaming. Is it all working right? Blue star, yep. Where's all my sound? So, yep. How's it going, guys? Welcome to another stream. Sorry I've been away for a week or so. Newborn baby, other priorities, a lot's been going on. So obviously on screen you obviously noticed that it is not a what one would call a MMO RPG, whatever. I think that's what I was working on in the last couple of episodes of this live stream thing that I'm doing. Also, did you know, this is not sponsored by the way, did you know Duff did actual stuff? I was flabbergasted when I saw that. Went to the shop, saw Duff. I've only got one because I just want to see what it tastes like. It's obviously lager. Do not condone drinking on underage. But it's not bad. I've had worse. So yeah, we are currently a week or so, I think it started a week ago. A week into a Call of Duty Zombies type game. And when I say a week, I don't mean like a pure week. I mean like an hour here, an hour there. Just when I've got free time. So basically I go to work. So I wake up, what I do is I wake up at R5/6 o'clock. And I'll come downstairs, make myself a coffee, put the news on, and then I'll come and sit on computer for an hour before I go to work, and then I'll come home from work, and depending how my newborn's being, I will work on the game then. And for the last I'd say 3 or 4 hours, which has been spanned over a couple of days, I've been working on the character movement. When I say character movement, because obviously most FPSs that you get taught, you don't get taught the actual way that people want an FPS to look. So for instance, if I show you, I don't know how to actually explain it. So people want an FPS game, but they don't want the ugliness with it. And the ugliness with it is, I don't know how to explain it to you without going like down a massive rabbit hole of big old tangents. So right, let's just get this picture here. I'll save it. Just bear with me a minute and I'll explain to you what I mean. Oh, that's my actual. So if I just open up a new file. Right. So you see this guy here. This is what you look at when you're doing a multiplayer game. When you're running about in an FPS multiplayer game, you see an actual character, as opposed to when it's your character, all you see is the arms. But essentially, it's still the full character, but it might be missing the head or something like that. But only you can't see the fact it's missing. You're missing the head, if that makes sense. In the newer Call of Duties, it is still a full character because you can go third person mode and stuff like that. But most people, when they want an FPS game, they want a full character. And this is what I've been working on, because back in the day, I used to just have the arms, which most people teach you. You have a capsule with some arms and you have a gun. And to be fair, that is the easier way of doing it. But if you're making an FPS multiplayer game, you don't want to be looking at like 15 different capsules with different arms running about. It would be easier, it'd be 10 times easier, but you don't want that. So for the past couple of hours, I'd say a couple of hours, I mean couple of days, it varies because like obviously I've been doing an hour a day over a spread out amount of days, so it's different. But over the past couple of days, what I've been doing is I've been working out how to separate. That's not the right colour that I want because you can barely see it. What is a big old colour? Yellow maybe? Is that going to contrast? Yeah, right, so cool. So over the past couple of days, what I've been doing is I've been trying to split up the fact that you can bend there, and you can bend, obviously, depending on how many spine bones you have within your mesh, how many times you can bend. And obviously you can bend there as well, and then you've got your arms. So your character's split up into a bunch of different bones, and I was thinking of different ways to manipulate it. Now, I have not seen tutorials on how to do this with multiplayer, because trust me, it's a lot harder within multiplayer. Single player, piece of cake. Like, I could have done it within 30 minutes, but allowing other people to see you bend how you want to be perceived as bending is hard. So what I've been working on is this little beauty over a couple of different forums, over the space of many different fails, and I can tell you I have failed a lot at this. Honestly, I got it last night. I was meant to be on my computer quite late last night, but I was just too tired from work and stuff. But I managed to somehow I just went into a random settings within the mirror, like the mirror settings, and I stumbled across it somehow. So you see how my guy stood there right now. He's not really moving, he's not really doing all right, but if I just go into my other client and click play, come on, and click client. Oh, come on. Hang on a minute, bear with me. And click client. Right, where are we? Right, so you see how I'm moving around now. You see how the animations are working and stuff like that. And if I bend up and down, you'll see that I'm actually looking up and down within the actual character as well. Ignore the animations, placeholder animations. I just needed something to actually work with. So obviously you can see the walking animation, you can see I'm bending and stuff like that. Running animations, the same thing. You can see me bending and doing all that groovy stuff. Absolutely amazing. And if I again go into this one, which you'll not be able to see anyway, but it won't make a difference, but I can bend on this one, and the other character on my other screen can see. You're just going to have to take my word for that. I'm looking at my other screen, you can see the character bending and stuff like that. And animations work and stuff like that. So the problem I had was when you try and manipulate a bone on a character, it doesn't actually get the transform of the bone. It's weird. So what I've had to do, and I read it on a forum from a couple of years ago, that if you was to put a mouse look directly onto the bone you want to manipulate, it works. And to be fair, it did. It worked absolutely banging. Crazy stuff. But what was happening was within the client and server stuff, you couldn't see the other person bending. Only you could see the person bending, regardless of it being client authority or anything like that. It couldn't do it. And even when you was putting transform, so if I just go to my, there is such a thing called a network transform child. So essentially what happens is a network transform deals with rotation and positions and stuff like that. If it doesn't have a network transform, you won't see it moving in within the scene. So the transform child, hey Beshkek, how you doing, man? The transform child basically allows other people to see the children of the object. The children of the object that's actually got the network identity on it to move. So you can't put more than one network identity on an object. So that would be so the most parented parent of the object has to have the network identity on it, and you can't have a network identity on any children or like that within the same object. It just don't work like that. So this network transform child worked wonders. So obviously the target is the spine bone, because that's obviously you want other people to see rotations and stuff. But the one thing that was it wasn't working. The network transform child was not working until I just came on earlier on. No, I came on yesterday, and I was just looking through the network transform child, and I was like, there must be something on this that's stopping me interpolating the rotation within the actual client view. So why can't you see it moving? And I looked at it and I was like, I don't want to sync positions, and I don't want to sync interpolate positions, not of the bone, because you're already doing that within the network transform. That's already doing that. Wherever you're walking and stuff like that, you're already interpolating and syncing the positions. So we didn't want that. So I literally turned them off, but I wanted to sync the rotations, which is all you needed to anyway, because obviously moving back and forward, you're syncing rotations, that's all you're doing. Clicked on that, worked. And I could honestly tell you, I've been working on that for about 3 hours, and I had a screaming baby and stuff like that. And while I was just trying to calm down, and I got it, and I just jumped out of my chair, and I was just like, woo! I've actually done something for once, and it worked. Beshka, is it Mirror? It is Mirror, mate. Yeah, I'm still working on ML API, but it's slow. ML API at the minute has took a backseat because I don't even know how to explain it to you, mate. If you know anything about ML API, please hit me up with stuff you've been reading, because I have read everything on the internet, and I can't seem to get any closer to doing what I've done here at all. So, yeah, I just ML API's API and the actual the Unity forums and fucking hell, where you go and look at stuff. Why can I not think of it? Why has my brain just gone dead? The Unity API? Is it? Hang on a minute. My brain's just gone dead. Unity ML Unity ML API. Let's just set ownership. What's it called? Unity docs. Why could I not think of that? Where are you? Oh, documentation. Oh my god, that's the word. The Unity documentation. What is better and easier to choose for a shooter? Mirror, by far. Mirror or Photon. I was proper set, 'cause I'm a stubborn little twat. I was proper set on using ML API because it was Unity's built-in version of networking. And you know what? Setting up Mirror is just as easy as setting up ML API, if not easier, because all you have to do is download Mirror's the file from the asset store. It'll import it, and then you can get going. And to be fair, the coding wise, if you already know ML API, jump into Mirror, piece of cake. It's the same API. It works the same, essentially. Anyway, it's just a bit of syntax difference, but for the most part, it's easier. And to be fair, it's better. If you're making like a bigger game, like a bigger FPS game, I won't suggest using Mirror. I'd probably just not try, if I'm being honest with you, unless you've got a big team. A big scale FPS is just not going to work. All I'm doing on this game is it's just going to be a 4-player game where people are going to be able to shoot. It's just a round-based game. It's essentially zombies, but round-based, just a little cheaper version. Now I'm sitting on ML API, but there's a few guides here. Yeah, there is, mate. There's a lot of guides, but the documentation for ML API at the minute is just shocking. Like, even Mirror's not so much got the best documentation, but because it's been out longer, there's more documentation to look at. So, I mean, it swings and roundabouts. If you know what you're doing with networking and ML API is good for you, then use that. But for me, Mirror technically is it's proceeding to be better, because I'm already doing what I've tried to do for at least 5 months in Mirror, what I did in 2 weeks. No, what I did in 2 weeks in Mirror, I was trying to do for like 5 months in ML API. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts. It's up to you. It depends what you want to use. But on today's stream, I have been streaming for... What have I been streaming for now? How long? 14 minutes, and I've just been rambling. So that was a good intro. I do hope people are still actually watching, because if you're not, I apologise, but we're going to get on with the actual game development now. So what I actually want to do is, I've got a zombie in the actual game, so I kind of want the zombies to follow you and stuff like that. If you don't know this guy, then you don't play Call of Duty enough, but I managed to rip a model of Soap and change a couple of the textures so he looks more zombified and stuff like that. It's not the best, but again, I'm a solo indie developer, so you get what you're given, don't you? I threw them together in about 15 minutes just because I needed a zombie. I'm going to also do Ghost as well, just because I'd like to hit my scent in the fields when it comes to Call of Duty memorabilia and like the fact that Soap and Ghost died. No, I don't think it was the same game, but I know they both died and there was both like bios, so you know. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Currently, I am just syncing up all of my animations. So this is going to be the actual protagonist, is it? Is a protagonist where it's just a guy, like the actual character. So this is the protagonist, and basically what I've done is I've gone on Mixamo, I think it was, downloaded a couple of animations, stuck them all together in a single Blender file, and I'm currently in the process of setting all this up in Unity. So what I've got is I've got walk forward, so walk forward, walk right, walk left, walk forward right, walk forward left, and then the same with the back, I walk back, run forward, run left, run forward right. It's just so like it looks a bit smooth when you're running about. The backwards, it's not so much bothering me, but when you're running forwards and you can see the actual animations in front of you, like if you're seeing your friend running about, you don't want to be seeing him running forward and then like him running forward but sideways. I just twatted my mic there, but like you don't want to be seeing him doing this, if that makes sense. You kind of want him to be like facing the way he's directing. So obviously if you're clicking W and D, that's when you do that being the code, and I'll be doing this in this episode anyway, so you'll see. So I've got all the animations set up other than the shooting and what else, like reloading and stuff like that. But these are just the basic animations for now. I just want to be able to run about the map fluidly. So I still got that cough. It's been like a week or two. Should really go to the doctors about that. So what I'm going to do is, I think I've already imported it into my... That's my old character, new character. There he is, look. Why has he not gone on those textures on him? Is that the new one? That is the new one. How many textures has he got? Wait, what? Oh no, it's the yeah, never mind. I'm getting confused with my here. So where's his textures at? And how can I save his textures? Why has his textures not gone through as well? Because he has got textures on him. Oh, the first hurdle, right. So we've got body 1, body 2 and body 3. So if I go into... Oh, I need to save his textures. That's what I need to do. Texture paint. Don't want to do no texture paint. I just want to be able to see the UVs. Right. So what I'm going to do... What on earth is that? Who ever textured that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. What is that? Is that his base? Oh my god. Right. So... Wait, so how many textures has he got? Oh my god. Why is it so laggy? Hang on a minute, let me check my Blender. 74 brushes, are you mad? I don't need that many. Where's my images? Plus 99 images. Wow. Wow. There's no wonder me. What is this? Right. All them can go. Wow. I just need... There's no wonder it's lagging. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's crashed. Wow. Come on, mate. Spend this much on my computer for it crash on Blender. On a simple character. I couldn't tell you what it is. Oh, hang on. Ah, hang on. There we go. Yeah. So file 1 is the... Hang on, so let me get the textures on. And let me turn specular off because we don't want specular on. Yeah, it's a very messy Blender file. So that is his arms. So that's his upper body. Is that his upper body? I feel that's his full body. Is that his full body? I'm just going to go with it if it's full body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go image, save as, new character. We'll just go body, and we'll just check if it's body, because it needs. So where's his knee pads then? Hey? Oh, we don't want that. These are all his yeah, it's all like the height maps and the normal maps and stuff, so we don't actually need these. I think is it that one? Is that the swap? Yeah, we need that one. Right, so that would be save as, I'm going to call it body, what, alpha. What's this one? Ooh. No, don't need that. No, is that just a full? Right, what's that when it's at home? Is that his shoes? I'm gonna guess that's his lower. I'm just gonna call it lower, because there's only 3 materials, so I mean that means I'm missing one. Does that mean I'm missing the head file? I feel like I'm missing the head file. What are you saying no for? Because my blender file's all absolutely everywhere. Is that, which one's that one? That's his shoes, so that's a shoe alpha. So we'll save that one. We'll call that, is it shoe? I don't know, we'll just go anyway. So lower underscore alpha. I'll rename all these once we're in uni and I actually know kind of what I'm looking at. What am I looking at there? Is that his head? I feel like that's his head. I'm going to go with that being his head. No. Oh, hang on. Yeah, it is his head. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Because that's his respirator. And that's the same texture. Yeah. That's his head. Wait, does Mob... What? I don't know. I'm just going to go for head. We'll just wing it. We'll wing it for now. Head. I need to sort my 16GB Blender file. Yeah, it's a big old one. Right, so I think that's all. I think I've been through them. Yeah. Right. Cool. So what I can actually do now is I can actually get rid of all these images and then bring them back in. No, what do I want to do? I want one of each, don't I? That's essentially what I want. Right, let's just... Oh my god, there's so many. 10. Delete. 11. Oh god, delete. It's because I've had to... The reason I've got so many of the same ones is because I've had to import the same model but with the different animations. Because for some reason my Blender's got a bug where I can't import actual animations. I have to import the model as well as the animations that come with the model. So that's why there's like a million different textures. Well, a million of the same textures just copied over and over. And there's 12 of each because there's 12 animations to do with like the walking and the running and the idle. 601 to 612. Oh god, this is such a well roundabout way of doing this. I am doing this again. This is my final character for this game. I aren't pissing about with this shit anymore. Pardon my French. Right, so we've got all the normal ones again. If I go on there, yeah, they're all there. Thank God for that. Jesus Christ, that was annoying. Right. What else can we get rid of? That's like 41 materials. Holy schmoka-lodoka. See, I don't need all them. Why? Why have you given me 35 of the million? Oh, God. There's no wonder it's all body. body, 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 delete, body 1. Oh my god, I just want to do some coding. Oh no, I've got rid of the wrong ones. Where's my materials? Boom. Body. Body 1. Delete. Yes. Body 2 to body 12. Delete. Done. Right. So we've only got 3 now. Body 1, 2. What's dot stroke? What's dot stroke when it's a... I don't know. I'm just going to leave that for now. I don't really care. Brushes. What are brushes? Why do I need brushes? Obviously it's for sculpting, but do I need them? I don't care. I am bothered. Armature. Oh my days! There's... No, we don't need that many armatures, do we? Or do we? Is that going to mess up my animation? That's going to mess up my animations, isn't it? Is it? I don't need 12 I don't need 12 armatures, surely. Nah, yeah, we're alright. We're alright. So how many armatures have we got now? We've got 1. That means if I go into my Unity... Oh, no, no. So it has just gone into 1 armature. That's... No. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. No, no, no. Yeah, 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 yeah. Cool, 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 cool. So the armatures are done. That's cool. Back into Blender to sort out him. Cameras. How many cameras we got? We got 1 camera. I think that's it. Workspace. That's fine. So we have got rid of everything that is unwanted within this scene. I'm not even going to mess around with the actions because I don't think that's a big deal. So I'm just going to jump back into my scene view. Right. So we'll save that out. That should now be fine. So what I've got to do is I've got to make materials to chuck back onto the character. So I've actually got a character. And then I've got to set the character up. And what we've got to do, we've got to set the character up with all of the scripts and the network information. And then we've actually got to code in the animations. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Right, what? Fix it. I don't know what. Oh, has it? What? Has it given me? Oh, it's brought them in. It's brought them in. Crazy. It's crazy that, mate. I'm still gonna have to make the materials, so I'm gonna go 1, 2. Materials. We'll start with upper. Upper underscore body. I need to adjust that, and then I will copy that twice. Rename 1 to lower underscore body. Technically, it's your legs, but we don't care about that. That's body 1, so upper body, lower body, and head. Right, so on the head, we need this guy, and turn that all the way down. Does it need to be metallic? Could be, it's up to you. Depends, just depends what you want. Right, cool, so that's head. And lower body will be lower, and lower alpha, which will be on the normal map. Am I wrong? I think I'm wrong. Oh, fix normals. Oh, I don't know. No, I'm gonna trust. I want to trust this. I'm gonna trust the process. So that was lower. So we go upper now, which is body, base, and body. Alpha, boom, bop. Cool, amazing. Right, and now we go to there. We go body, upper, body lower, and head. Is that right? I feel like that's not right. Got a feeling my guy's going to. Was it right? Why does he look so washed out? Oh god, right. No, refresh. I want to. Can you? Is there a way to sort? I can't remember how you sort them. Search by type, search by label. Nope. Oh, 2 column. You can add the tab apparently. Right, so why do they look so washed out? Is that because... no. Why do... Oh, it's because they're on lit. That's why. If I go simple... Yeah, there you go. It's because they're on lit. That's why his head looks alright now. Simple lit. And simple lit. There we go. Now he's looking bad boy. SWAT. What better than SWAT to kill zombies? Depending on how much I enjoy actually making this, I am going to... what am I going to do? If I enjoy making it, I'm going to carry on with it. And actually make a map that I'm happy with. Because this map was thrown together in record time just because I had pre-made assets. Like, I modelled everything. Everything in this map you see I've modelled, but... it was just pre-made assets like thrown together. Like I made these containers for a shipment map that I made ages ago, like the same as the barrels and the bin and stuff like that. It was like a shipment map. So what we're gonna do now is this main character guy. We need to set him up with his character animations. So that's applied. Now we need to set up the actual animations, and there is a lot of them. To be precise, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 13 animations. Holy shabooma. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And what's worse is that's not all the animations. There is more animations. Like, there's going to be way more. There's reloading. There's shooting. I suppose shooting can be done with script. Don't really matter. But there is aiming. So you've got to bring it up for the camera to go to the actual gun. So there's aiming. So that's oh my god. There's reloading. There's reloading of all the guns as well. So if I do more than one gun, there's a lot of reloading. There's a lot going on. God, do you know when you just like start something and you really wish you didn't? It's kind of what I'm doing right now. You think it's going to be like an easy project where it's just like going to be like a 2-second thing. It turns out it's not. And you're there 3 or 4 days later, still doing the game you thought was going to take a day. So yeah, that sucks. So idle is, I've got it all wrote down on my other screen, by the way. This is how I know the keyframes. So the idle, I don't need to click apply every time. Don't know why I did that. That's why I shouldn't have done it. Why did I do that? So the idle, ooh, you're looking a bit sugary, me mate. Why are you so? That's the alpha. The alpha's messing with you, bro. Right, and then the next one is called what we called walking underscore forward, and that is that, yeah, so cool. So that's 210 by 234. Loop that one because it's walking, so all these are going to have to be walked. So you see how he's walking forward? Spot on. Cool. Right, and then this one is walking left. Walking underscore, I think it's left anyway. I hope it is. Walking left, and that would be 236. That's 235. 236 by 260. 260. So this is walking right, is it? Yeah, walking right. No, this is walking left. 236, 260, walking left. I need to click on them as I go because I'm going to end up getting confused with my son. Is this walking left? So if I just... Yes, that's walking left. Cool. Right, Jesus. And then walking underscore right. And that one wants to be 262. So 262 by 286. 286. The worst thing about live streaming and stuff like that is I can't skip none of this. Like, I know it's boring stuff to watch, but in videos you can edit this stuff out so it's quicker. But I like live streaming just because I like the rawness of actual game development, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And if you go online now and see people doing their old wait, what? Scene 4. Yeah, if you go online and see people doing the devlogs nowadays, it's all sunshine and rainbows. They'll tell you a couple of things they've walked into. Front right. I should have really done front left first, but I'm not gonna. 288 by 312. Yeah, they'll say it's all sunshine and rainbows, but it's just not. It's this stuff. It's tedious work for the outcome that you want, basically. See, I could have just done 4 animations. I could have done walking forward, walking left, walking right, walking backwards, and my friends who are going to be playing this game with me would have had no other choice other than to... they won't even have thought about it. They won't think like, oh, well, I'm doing front left and front right to make the animations more fluid and stuff like that. They won't think like that because they don't really see it like that. Whereas, because I've been doing game development for so freaking long, it's stuff I pick up on, and it's a pet hate of mine. Like, if I'm in a game and I see even, like, especially a AAA game, I am mad about that stuff. Like, if I see even like the most stupidest thing clipping, or I see like a bit of debris floating or something like that, it's like, I get it, you're making a AAA game and there's like a million different things that you have to do to kind of get this game looking front right, front left, walk backwards. Right, we're now on walk backwards, walking underscore back. Yeah, there's like a million different things that they have to do to get the game working right, and I get it. There's all the back end stuff with a multiplayer and stuff like that, and like, but there's a massive team doing it. There's a massive team of people to make sure, and it goes through like strict debugging and stuff. Like, how can you not notice that barrel clipping the wall, or how can you not notice that there's a fucking car floating? Do you know what I mean? It's like stuff like that. So my mates won't notice the fact that you can walk left and walk front left, and like the fucking animations are fluid, because it's just going to be, it don't make a difference if the game's good, which it's just a zombie game, so it's just going to be round based, so it don't right matter. But this stuff's, do you know what, I went on such a tangent then I forgot what I was on about. Yeah, it's just tedious work, but it needs to be done, because people on devlogs nowadays just don't show you the stupid stuff that you've got to go through to actually make the game somewhat playable. Like, because obviously it don't bother me having to do this stuff, because I like doing it. It's like torture. It's weird. It's insanity, and it's like doing stuff over again just because. So that's walk backwards. Right, we're on to the running now. Jesus Christ. Running. Let's go forward. But this is all the back end stuff that like people don't realise what goes on. So like, and I get it. I get why, like, especially AAA games and stuff like that, why they get pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. Which it makes sense, because like, if you think about it, games nowadays are getting absolutely mad. The sheer size of games nowadays is ridiculous. The way they look is ridiculous. But at the end of the day, games are only moving as fast as technology can take them, which means people in the industry also need to pick up the pace with that sort of stuff. Because back in the day, running left. So back in the day, games used to come out polished already. There never used to be betas or alphas and stuff like that. There never used to be even pre-testing, like pre-alpha testing and alpha testing and beta testing and then testing and then open beta testing and stuff like that. There never used to be that back in the day. They always used to bring out a solid game. And nowadays, you can't even get a AAA game that runs on a normal computer without there being stupid mad bugs, and it's just fucking ridiculous. What was I doing? Run left. Have I done run left? I haven't done run left. So run left is 383,395. And I hope people watch this video and criticise how I'm going to be setting this animation system up, because it's going to be absolute carnage. Running right. They're going to look at it and be like, why have you done that? That is wrong on so many levels. But you do stuff. If it works and it works right, you shouldn't criticise the way people do stuff. Like, I get it. There's always going to be like people. I spelled right wrong. IGH. There's always going to be people that criticise your code, no matter what. Don't care who it is. It could be your college professor, someone like that. But at the end of the day, if you're a self-taught coder and you're making games run front left on your own, yeah, you can look at tutorials, because at the end of the day, especially if you go on like forums and stuff and you look at other people's code, there is a plethora of ways to code stuff. 26, so 438. There is a plethora of ways to code stuff. I like it how like mad tangents I'm going on. Like, I'm starting like AAA games and how like animations don't, and now I'm on about code and stuff. I suppose it's on about the same objective, but you know what I mean. Yeah, there's a plethora of different codes out there, but they all do the same stuff. Like, you can do the same thing a million different ways. Well, obviously not a million different ways, but you get what I'm saying. And they'll all work. Yeah, some will work better than others. Some will be a lot more efficient than others. 5-3, and then if I play that back, that should be running backwards, and that is the last one, my guys. I'm setting all these to loop as well, because they need to. Every one of them needs to loop. But yeah, so you're always going to get criticised on your code. 100%. People always do that stuff. I don't care. As long as my game works and I get the game to work, whether it be coded to the standard of, let's say, Lizard Boy, ye old Facebook owner, Mark Zuckerberg, or to someone in the industry that does it for a living day in, day out, people are still going to criticise it. People are always going to tell you that there's something better you could have done to make it work a bit better. But at the end of the day, if it works, it works. Just do you. Just if you're happy with the way it's running, continue to do it, mate. Continue. Because at the end of the day, as long as you're happy, who cares what other people think? Like, if you're making a game and your friends and family like it, and then you put it out to the public and the public like it, and in the back end, it is the most unorganised project, the most dirtiest code you've ever seen, but it works, and it works to a standard of playability. That's not a word. I feel like I've just made that word up. But it's in a state where you can play it and you're still having fun. No one cares. Just play it. Just shut up. Do your own thing, mate. Especially people that come on and troll about it as well. That's just stupid annoying. Like, I watch who's streamed I watch? Thomas Brush. I watch his live streams a lot. I just like how calm he is. I love how calm he is when he's streaming, and I just like watching him do his own stuff within this game that he's making now. And I love how just like open he is with like how he develops games, and like he knows he's not the best, and he takes criticism on the chin like a champ. And like when people are trying to tell him ways to do it, and like it's good. I like how, like, because he takes on board his viewers' opinions, so he'll try the way the viewer says it, and if it don't work, and he don't care because he tried it. But it's when like people who are watching are insistent and consistently spamming, saying, "Do it this way, do it this way," and he's like, and he finally sees it, and like he's done it once. I've seen it before, and he's done it, and it didn't work. And you just look at the person that's just spammed his chat, and it's just like, wow, some guy. Like I only get like 7, 8, 9, 12 maybe people watching these streams, but it's 12 people that have watched the stream, and it's like, if they're gonna, because I like having stuff on in the background, especially when I'm not streaming and I'm not recording. I like to have like not podcasts, like other YouTube videos on, especially like devlogs as well. I like watching devlogs because it inspires me to continue doing what I continue doing. But yeah, so off on that one. Here we go. Bobbity bibbity bop. Animations are in. Right, so now what we need to do is we need to set up the animator, because he's got a multitude of different animations, but none of them seem to be working at the minute. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set up the character first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck on a network transform, which will automatically do a network identity, client authority, and I'm going to send the intervals down. It's a bit more of a load on the host, but there's only going to be 4 people in the game, so the load's not that demanding anyway. It's literally just like, there's not even going to be 4 people in the game playing with me, so it doesn't right matter. Especially if you've got a good internet connection, it won't right matter. But I'm just going to turn the send intervals right down, so when it comes to it, there's no like initial lag or stuff like that. So we'll turn that down. What else do we need? We need an animator. We also need a network child, but I'm going to put that with the actual transform itself. Oh, come on. So I'm just going to unpack it because it won't let me edit stuff. Right, put that up there. Use client authority. And then I need to go find the spine bone, and it's spine 1 to be precise. Spine 1, and I'll turn off positions. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to get my character that I've been using, which is this guy. So there's 2 characters. I want to have character selection, so like you can choose which character you want, obviously, but for now, I just want the same character running. It's going to be the same gun as well. It's just going to be a pistol for now. I know how to do different guns, but for now, it's just going to be a pistol. And I know he's carrying a sound. It might even be a submachine gun or something like that, because his hands are already in like a big gun way, as opposed to a pistol is just like a single hand. And I don't really want to be messing about with the animations. Like, you see how his hands are ready for a pistol because I changed his hands to be a pistol. His hands are currently there for a machine gun or a shotgun or something like that, so I reckon I'm just going to model something like that and just have it so you're running about with a machine gun. So what did I want to do? I wanted to check this character. Is that? Oh, that's not my prefab. I need to go to the character prefab. So if I go soldier, bring him out. Yeah, you see how like I've already modelled the pistol, and it is the most low poly pistol you've ever seen in your life. Like, it looks like it's got detail on it, but that's literally just the textures. And literally to texture that, all I did is I projected the face onto an image straight away. I modelled the silhouette of the actual image, which was that gun, and I just projected the image straight onto it, so it looked a bit more detailed. Because it don't need to be anything special for now. It don't. Like, if my mates enjoy playing this game with me, I look great. Because that's the best thing about game development. There's never a static moment in your process of creating a game where you think to yourself, that's the best I can do. Because I know for a fact that's not the best I can do, but it's a placeholder. And that is the best thing to say to anyone ever. Oh, well, how come that's like that? Ah, it's a placeholder. Why is the animation so dodgy? It's a placeholder. It's just, placeholders are your friend. I don't care what anyone says. So what I'm doing now, you can see obviously both characters are in the game. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip-flop between them both just to double check that all of my settings and stuff are the exact same, just because I can't be bothered making it not work. Just because I've missed multiplayer catch-up, I'm going to turn that back up to 0.1, just because that's going to send stuff west if I don't. Yeah, I don't want to be spending an hour trying to figure out what I've done wrong when I could just like copy exactly what I've done, which works, over to my new character, which is my actual character. So we've got transform, so that can go now. I can stop looking at the transform. The network child, everything's sorted on that. Spine 1, don't interpolate position. only interpolate rotation. The network animator, it's not going to work yet because I've not actually got an animator on the controller, so that is the next step. So I need my FPS controller multiplayer actives, my multiplayer script, my character player controller script, a character controller, and an animator. So what's first? I need to go to my scripts, my FPS multiplayer actives, and my player controller, and then I need a character controller and an animator. Old school animator as well, by the way. I'm not using none of this Mechanim shit. I don't even know if Mechanim's still in the fucking game, to be fair, in Unity. Can't remember. Cannot remember to save my life. So that one, is that or not? It's only one. So if we click one, is that going to go up to proper? It does! Madness. Right, radius, just make him a bit more skinnier. And the height, I can drop him down a bit. And that's when I can drop the... Right, cool. Right, character controls all done. Right. So we'll sort the animator out next, just because I need to do the animator, otherwise it's not going to work. So we'll go create, and we'll go for a new animator controller, and we will just call it new character underscore anim, and then we'll open that up. So now we've got an animator which we can now put onto the character, which if I just drag that onto there, I don't think I have to apply root motion. No, I don't. And then on the soldier, we have to drag the animator into the actual network animator, otherwise we're not going to be able to see animations. Send intervals to 0, client authority. I'm giving everyone client authority just because I know my mates are not going to try and hack me, which I hope you don't, Brody, you wanker. He's the only one that would. So what am I doing now? What am I doing now? What am I doing now? So that's the animator setup. So now I can actually go to my scripts and set this up. So if I go to soldier, so I need the PC, which is the player controller, and the ML spine, which is the multi-link. No, what have I? Why does it say ML spine? Mouse look, obviously. See, this is what I mean with dirty code. It's just, it works. So I just don't mess about with it. And I'll explain what my code does in a minute. So what I need to do is I need to get the player controller and the spine. So I'll put the player controller in there. Then I'll jump into my spine. And that's got the mouse look script. Has it? Oh, I didn't put the mouse look script on it. So we'll go scripts. Put the mouse look script on. And we need to know the actual specific. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the components. Go to spine. Paste as component value. So now that's set up. Go to new character, click on spine 1, then it'll let me into there. Don't need to set up the camera, but I do actually need to implement a camera. So what can I do for that? Let's go down my spine link, go to neck, go to head, and make a new camera. Rename it to main camera, just so the game knows it's the main camera, because this soldier's not doing the main camera anymore. So they've both got them. I need to make it so that this camera's not clipping. So I need to change the clipping to something small. Bring it forward. Actually, let's do what I need to do. I just need to text our last quickly and tell her to let me know when you're setting off. I'm streaming, so I don't. Yeah, so camera, so that's all set up in the head. I've got all that, so audio listener turns off as well. Within the actual player controller, I need to implement the player controller, the player animator. The speed is not that speed. If I remember rightly, it's 0.01. I need to actually look at that, because at the moment, if I put it to anything more than 0.01, he's a rapid mover. He runs quick as balls. which we don't want. So that's that. Character. Hi, just found your channel. Got hooked pretty quickly since I want to start learning multiplayer development. How we going, my guy? I don't know how to say your name. Ionut Veliscu. Got hooked pretty quickly. Have I got an infectious personality? Right. So what we doing? You put me off there, my guy. That should be set up. I'm just gonna chuck him back in just to. That's not the right one. That is not the right one. I've just put the wrong one in. Where's the prefabs? Prefab, soldier, prefab. So his speed's at 1. Is it? Did I fix it? Curious. Right, that needs to be -20 just because my gravity. The jump's broke as well, actually. We need to look at the jump. The jump is broken. So what we need to do is, it can't be 1. That's way too quick. I'm just going to put it at 1. No. Yeah, it's 1. What? When did I fix that? I can't remember fixing that. I'll be fair to you guys. I can't remember fixing that. But apparently we did, so that's fine. So we've got the mouse hook on the spine, so he's going to be bending quite. It should be bending, all right. But what we're going to do is we're just going to get the basic animations sorted for now. So we're going to get the forward, the back, the left, and the right, just so it looks like he's running normally, and then we're going to do the proper ones. So the way I am going to do this old animation, I'm going to get rid of that solid, the actual character itself, because I don't need him anymore. Yeah, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to do an animation state. And what that means is it's just a simple integer, and when the integer equals a specific number, then that animation will get played. So for instance, if I click nothing, then the integer is going to be 0, which then the idle will play. If I click W, 1, the integer will be 1, which means we're going to walk forward. If I go backwards, I can technically do -1, but I'm not going to, so I'll do 2, and then that'll walk backwards. Same for left, same for right. So I'll show you what I mean. So if I just call it animation state, like so. I'm calling it animation state because within my code I've already called it animation state. So if I just go to player controller, I'll just open it up and show you. It's on the wrong screen. It is on the wrong screen. Right, so what I said earlier on about the actual animations being janky, I did mean that. It's going to be crap. How's your day going so far? Is it an L? Is that an L or an I? I want to say it's an I. An L. Lunut. Lonut? Inut? I'm sorry, my guy, I butchered that. But how's your day going anyway? Mine's going quite good. So yeah, as you can see, I've already set the integers to animation states. I don't need that in for now because I haven't actually got any aim in. But essentially, what's going to happen is, if I click W and Shift, running's going to initiate. If I click left shift, so if I take my hand off left shift, walking's going to initiate. So obviously, if running, then play animation 2, which is the running animation. It is an I. Right, sorry my guy, I apologise for that. So it's Ionut. Is it silent O? Silent N? Ionut. Sorry mate, I'm trying to get names, I'm bad with names. Yeah, so if running equals true, then obviously animation state equals 2, which means running animation initiates. If it equals false, then idle obviously comes into play. If what we're kicking, so if we click W and running equals false, then all we need to do is walk. So that's the walking animation. Obviously, if get key up from W and is running equals false, then we're just going to play the animation state. So that's already set up for that, but now we need to set it up for W, A, and D. A, S, and D. W, A, S, D. Why did I just... I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting confused myself. But, just to make it a little bit neater, I've stuck it in its own class, or function, or void, or whatever you want to call it. So obviously it gets called within the update function. I just call animation, and obviously the animations will work. Same with my movement and same with my look. It's just to keep the update function from being messy, essentially. So we don't need movement, we don't need look, because that's all done. It's just the animation function we're dealing with right now. So what do we need to do first? We need to get the walking and the running sorted. So if we go back into Unity and I go to my player, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make him into a prefab, because you need to make him into a prefab before you can set him as an actual character to be able to spawn into the game. So if I go there and I'm just going to create a new folder calling it character pre. That nearly said porn then. Why am I doing that? Click P! Prefab. And I'm just going to drag my guy into character prefab. It should be all set up. That should be it. I shouldn't have to do anything else, but knowing us, we'll spawn in and something will go wrong, so we're just going to have to bear and grin and bear it. He's not going to have a gun for now, but again, we'll get to that. He can have a box until we actually model a gun. Right. So so what's next? We need to plug the animations into the actual animator itself. So I'm just going to go to my character, open him up. I'm going to drag all animations in just for now, just so I've got use of them all. And the idle's obviously initial. It's the initial animation we want. So obviously, if we're not moving, we don't want him to be like running on spot, like off those TikToks where those guys are running on spot. We want to be able to just stand there idling, looking swatty and stuff. So run back, we're not going to use that yet. Run forward, we are going to use that. Run left, we're not going to use that yet. Run front right, nope. Running left, we aren't going to use that yet. We're not going to use run right. We are going to use all these eventually, but for now we're not. So walking back, we're not. Walking forward, we're gonna. Front left, we're not. Front right, we're not. Walking left, we are, and walking right, we are. So it's 4 animations to deal with at the minute. So essentially what we want to do is we need to set it up so the integers correlate with the buttons we're pressing. So what happens? Well, we need to make a transition. We need to make 2 transitions basically. So in this transition, we need to have exit time to be off, because if you don't, then when you let go of a button, your animation won't stop playing until the actual animation stop playing, which is very annoying. So what we're going to do is animation state equals, and then obviously because we're walking, we're pushing down on a button, we want it to equal 1. And once it equals 1, the walking animation will initiate. And then vice versa, if we take our hand off, or take our finger off of W, we want it to equal 0. And when it does equal 0, it's no longer walking, it's idling. So essentially, if we just click off that now, nothing, we'll just walk forward and walk backwards, right? But we don't want to do that yet. We want to run. We want to be able to run as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to run forward as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set some transitions up for the running to idle. And obviously, if we're running, we want it to equal 2, because obviously it's double of walking. That's how I'm thinking of it. Like, walking's 1, so if you're running, that's 2. Does that make sense? You can do this as floats as well. You can do it as floats, bulls, anything you want. But I just say it as integers because it's just easier. It's a simpler way of doing it. And this is going to get mad messy, but it'll work. So what we need to do is, if you let go of running and nothing is being pressed, it wants to equal to 0 to run back to idle. So if we're not running, we're idling. If we're not walking, we're idling. So then walking left and walking right is a different story, because now we need to actually code that in, which again is simple, very, very simple. But we're going to start getting a spider web of different stuff now. And how I want to do it, actually, to make this easier, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put entry there for easier purposes. Walking forward's going to go there. Walking right's going to go. No, you want to be doing it from right to left, don't you? So we'll walk forward, we'll walk right, and then walk left, and then running will be at the bottom. So then this is how we're going to split this up. Sorry to interrupt you. Earlier, I ran into a problem. I looked into ML API netcode documentation and tried to create a simple game where 2 or more players can join and move a simple cube. I did the component needed for the object transition to be the network, and only the host can move his cube. The player gets the input, but his cube is not moving. Have you watched any of my previous tutorials? I'm guessing, actually no, you won't, because you said there that you've just found my channel. If you go watch a couple of my tutorials before, it'll show you the client cube will only move if disable network transform component of his cube. So what are you wanting to do? Are you wanting the players to be able to move the cube? Is that what you're saying? So like, obviously, you've got 2 characters within a game, and you want them both to be able to manipulate this said cube, or are the characters the actual cube? The client's cube will more, or if they both got a cube, that could be a thing. Can I have a little bit more context, my guy? I'll just wait for your chat. Right, so as we were, I'm waiting for Iona to message back. Yeah, so what we're going to do, just to make it so it's not a spider web of absolute cluster, we're going to do it so walking front left is there, walking front right is there. I'm going to put running down there, and walking backwards is there. So actually what I can do, this is going to be laid out like a professional. You're going to love this. So put that there, put that there, put that there, put that there. I could actually do that, just so you're looking. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. That's just terrible. Terrible. The client cube will move only if I disable network transform component on his cube. So essentially it's hard to explain with ML API, because ML API's netcode's a bit different, and the documentation is absolutely poo compared to what I'm using now is Mirror. But essentially how I would do it, if you're both wanting to move a single cube, I explained more here. If you wanted to both move a cube, how I would do it is I would soft parent it. So what I mean by a soft parent is, also the code is here. Are you going to link me? But also the code is there. Where's there? I miss the days of private messaging. Used to be able to private message on YouTube, and now you can't. Yeah, sorry. As I was saying, with Mirror, there's such a thing as soft parenting, where like you don't actually parent an object to your client or your player. What you do is you make it so every player has its own cube. And what are you wanting? Are you wanting everyone to see the cube moving? Is that what you're saying? So you want everyone else to see the cube that you've got moving. I did a component that needed the object's transform to be networked, and only the host can move his cube. The player gets the input, but his cube is not moving. The client's cube will move only if I disable network transform. It sounds to me like you need to start using some RPCs or something like that. So you need to send the server a command basically telling. You need to basically tell. Yeah, so every player has its own cube. Yeah, so what you need to do is with ML API, you need to send a command to the server telling the server that said client has moved the cube. Oh, just headbutted my pop filler. Is moving the cube, and then the server will send it to you and everyone else around. If that makes any sense. It's a bit of a nightmare, honestly. This is why I stopped using it. This is why I've took a back burner on the ML API, because MLAPI's documentation at the minute is just not there. It's just not. You can't. There's nothing specific about anything you look for. Especially if you've got a random problem, you can't fix it because no one knows how to fix it. Because there's no tutorials on it. There's no nothing. It's just they've just give us it to basically jump into the deep end with, which is just not the right way to go. Right. I tried at RPCs. It's pretty annoying since the rotation is synced, but the movement is not. Is the cube attached to the player, or is it just an entity that's been spawned within the game? Right, run backwards. So what we'll do is we'll put that there, and then run from left. No. Yeah, so we'll put that there. So running left and running right. Put them there. Right, so it's a little bit easier to look at now. So obviously we're running forward. This is all the animations to run forward. Running back. This is all the animations to run back. Cool. Right, so what we need to do is we need to set up run left and run right from idle. Do we need walking back? Is that D? Yes, we do. So what we'll do is I'm going to move that to there so we can actually see stuff. So idle, make transition, idle, make transition. And what we need to do is, if we're walking backwards, then what we need to do is equal to -1, because obviously we're walking backwards, and that equal to, is that already set up? No. And that one equal to 0. So if we're walking backwards, it's going to equal to -1. Put that there because I need to. Walking back is -1, and then equals 0. So that's WASD. So walking left and walking back. Oh, this is going to get confusing. So that's 2. So this can be 3. There's got to be a simpler way of doing this. Absolutely. Has exit time. Has exit time. Make sure I'm turning off has exit time every time I'm doing it. And then walk right. Go back. Yeah, this is going to get confused. Oh, there we go. No, actually, that's probably better because I can still see. Yeah, I'll do that. Right. So walk. Is that walking there? It is. I'm going to move that out as well, just so I can see a bit better. So where was I? Yeah, I tried that. It's spawning when the player connects to the host or server. Anyways, I'll leave and watch some of your videos and see if I can fix it. Sorry for interrupting you. Have a great day. Nah, don't worry about it, my guy. Yeah, if you go watch some of my videos, there's a lot of MLAPI videos out there that'll actually teach you how to do stuff like that. It's only a simple task of having the character manipulate an object. So there'll be plenty of videos out there. I'm a bit deep into this, so like I can't rack my brain to tell you because I'd have to sit and like play with it myself to actually get it working. I couldn't just give you an answer straight off the bat because my brain don't work like that apparently. Right, so if we're walking right, which is D, it's a shame I tell you what would be good if you could set a string. If you could set a string, and then obviously if it equaled D, then you do that shit. But apparently you can't. You can only set integers and floats. So that sucks. So what's that one? That's 3. So walk right equals 4, and that will equal 0. Has no exit time. Right, so now what we can do is we can walk forward, walk back, walk left and walk right. We can also run forward as well. Cool. So what I need to do now is I need to go to my code and code this in. This is going to be fun. This is going to take a lot. Like a lot. I'm trying to figure out how to put it into something that's not going to absolutely melt my brain. Right, this should work. This should work. So if I'm just going to test it out, because walking forward should work and running should work technically. If I've done it right, everything should work right. So let's go into the scene view. Come on. Right, and then go to Network Manager and Character and chuck my character prefab in there and click Play. The cube's disappeared, but if I click that, right, there we go. Is animation's playing. Walk forward. Oh, there we go. So he's walking forward, running. That seems like the same animation. Hang on. Right. So obviously, if running equal, that should work. Should be running technically. Why is it not running? Host. Click on that. So he's looking up and down, that's good. See what I mean about the jumping? The jumping's really temperamental. I'm absolutely spamming that and it's not actually doing anything. Why is he not running? Oh! There we go. Why did that just start working? Oh, that's... Do I have to do it at the same time? Hang on a minute. There's something not right here. Has exit time. Oh, hang on. Am I doing this? None of them should have exit times. That's what I mean. Stuff starts messing up if you don't turn has exit time off. Right, let's try that again. Oh, mate. No. No. It's what... If running equals true, set the animation state to 2. That should work. Why is that all of a sudden started doing that? Need to set those animations up because it looks like it's moonwalking. Right, so walking. Oh, that's why. Because I didn't set transitions up between running forward. Yeah, that's why. Because I didn't set transitions up between running forward and running backwards. And this is where it's going to start spider webbing. So running forward, if I equal, what is it, 2, and then obviously if I equal 1, right, equals has exit time, click on that, right, so if I go now, click play, there we go, right, off, there we go, right, there we go. That's what was up with it. I didn't set the transitions up. Simple. But now we're running, and we're running at a quite a good one, I'd say. We're running, you can see our arms, it's absolutely amazing. We need to do the turn the old axis down a bit, because it's a bit, she's a bit potent. Or I might put a lerp on it so it's a bit smoother, because that's, yeah, I need to turn it down a bit anyway. So that's that set up. Now we need to set up the left and the right, which is 3 and 4 if I'm not mistaken. 3 and 4, yeah. So how can we set this up so it's easier to do? Right, so how can I do it? The only other way I can do it is making separate, or like separate voids to, what functions, whatever you want to call them, to yeah, it's a function, I knew it was. Just double checking what void meant. Yeah, so the only other way I could think of doing it is setting up voids. So like every time you click the W key, every time you click the WASD basically, and like make their own voids, and then like any time you click them it'll do that sort of situation. This is gonna be mad. This is gonna take the absolute biscuit. Right, we're gonna have to make this super long. This is gonna be so long just because of animations. So right, so what we're gonna do is we need to be able to run left and right. So essentially, no, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the backwards walking first. So if input dot get key is keycode dot s, set integer animation state, and that's going to equal to 3. No, what's walking backwards? We haven't set up. Oh, we have. No, we have. Walking back. -1. There we go. Makes sense. Equals -1. No, I don't need to do that. What am I doing? Why am I opening parentheses? No. Boom. So then that should technically walk me backwards now. So I should be able to walk backwards instead of moonwalking backwards. So let's just have a look, shall we? There we go, look at that. We're walking backwards. Yes. That's basically going to be a running backwards animation once we've got it set up. It's still going. How? Love it. Right. So we've got walking backwards. So what we want to do now is walk right. So you see how this is what I mean. So like if you're running left, like you don't want to be running. You can't really notice it, and it don't really make a difference. But I want it to be able to run left and run right and look like you're running left and running right, as opposed to just like floating on the ground as you're doing. Like you see how it's sliding on the ground. I don't want that. I want it to look like he's actually running left and running right, which we will eventually set up after the. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Right, now what? Once I've got all the actual transitions set up, I'll put them back into a nice orderly fashion, but for now I need to see where all the arrows are going, so for now that's just good. Running back. So what do we need? What do we need for walking back? We need to be able to, right, this is where it's going to get mad confusing. Like really, really confusing. So walking left, so you're going to need to be able to do it so it transitions between them all fluently after you click any button. So if you're holding A and D down, what actually happens if I hold them down at the same time? Is it just going to pick a direction and run that way? Yeah, so if you're holding if you're holding correlate in, yeah, so you don't move. So essentially what's going to have to happen is if shift comes up, running equals false. Yeah, so if shift comes up, running equals false, so then if running equals false, then it should go back to my guy. So running forward from walking backwards. You see what I mean about it being absolutely madness. So running back. So essentially what needs to happen is if you're running forwards and shift comes up, do something. So that one is running back is -1. So we need if -1 is equal to, and then obviously if you're equal to 0, then you just, oh no. So if you're -1, boom. If you're at 2, run. Equals. As exit time. So essentially what should happen is if you take your hand off of shift, it'll stop doing the walking back animation. Or it should do anyway. I need to be able to see it. So walking back, so running. Yeah, so it's not doing alt. Running, walking back, it's doing alt. Because we're not running backwards. I mean we are, but it's not playing. Yeah, that's cool. Right, so if I was to do so if I just copy that, and put and is running equals false, what we want to do now is set the animation up for the running backwards. So run backwards equals 5 equals 2 equals boom. So what wants to happen is, if we're running backwards and we click shift, we want to run backwards. So if walking backwards, needs a transition over to that one as well. So obviously it equals 5. Oh no, I'm doing these in minuses, aren't I? Yes, I'm doing these in minuses. So walking backwards, so running backwards is -2. And then obviously -1 if it's only walking again. So if we're walking backwards and we hit shift, you're going to start running backwards. If you let go of shift, you're going to start walking backwards. If you let go at all, it's just not going to do anything. So that should work now. So and is running equals -2. So now running backwards should work. So walk forwards, walk backwards, run forwards, and then why is that not running backwards then? That's because I've actually done the wrong one. It should be, because there's no mouse input, so it's not even getting out. That's why. Makes sense. Alright, click play. Run forwards. Stop. Walk backwards. Right, there you go. So now you're running backwards, but you're not running any quicker. So if we do that and set the running, which is, so if W it says blah 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 blah, and the shift, I need to know how quick we're running. No, that should do it. That should set the value of the speed, so it should technically run quicker backwards. So we'll just check that. Yeah, running's not becoming true. Forwards and that is, yeah, right. So we just have to copy some shit. If WH running equals true, no, it's not going to work. So what we need to do is speed equals 0.25, is it? Or is it 0.025? 0.025. So there we go. Now we're running quickly backwards, quickly forwards. So what we need to do is if W right, if W get key up and running equals true as well, all we need to do is set running is running equal to false, and that should disable running and make it so you can't run on spot anymore. So we'll just try that. There we go. Walking, running, taking your hand off W but keeping it on shift, doesn't do anything. Walk backwards, and it's doing the same on that one. So what we'll do is copy that, and if key up, no, if get key up, so basically no, so basically if you take your hand off of S, hang on a minute, I've missed a fucking trick here. So if you're not clicking S anymore but you're still clicking shift, that needs to be equal to 0 and equal that to 0.01. So essentially if you're still clicking shift but you're not clicking S, don't run. I want to redo that. That can be easier done. It's a bit of a roundabout way of doing that, but if it works then I know what I'm doing. Host, so running back, take your hand off of S. No, it's still not doing it. It should. Why is it not setting it to... Oh, because that's fucking... It's, yeah. Right. So what's basically happening? What is happening? So we've done if running, which we don't want to do. So that's what we want to do. And then set the speed. So now what we can do is take them off. So if input.getKey and getKey shift start running. I'll tell you what I am going to do, just for simplistic purposes. Running. And then... No, I'll do it this way. Right, so that's walking, that's part of walking. That's idling. The reason I know is because I'm looking at the actual animation state numbers. That's running backwards. That's walking backwards. And what are these ones? That's idle, so that can go in idle. Don't matter which way they go around it because it's just all fucking the same anyway. Right, so what's this one? What is this one? This one is... What are these ones? If get left shift up, let's just see what that's done, because I don't actually know what's happening right now. I've moved all my code around to like segregate into different fucking levels so I know where I'm at. Host, so Whoa! See what I mean? Walk backwards. Right. So if we're walking forwards, speed equals 0.01f. Fantastic. If we're walking backwards, speed equals 0.01f. If we're running, that's okay. Right, that's cool. So let me just double check that that's going to work, because that was mad fast. Right. Right, there we go. And then running. That's cool. It's no longer going back to idle. So that's because it's got no input docker keys up. So actually it should be. So if running equals true, ooh, right. So if what I want to be doing, this is part of running. So if input get key up is key code dot shift, then running equals false. Right, so if the left shift comes up, so if running equals false, but we're still clicking W, walk. If running equals false, and we're clicking S, walk backwards. If W and shift, right. If W and shift, oh my god, this is hurting my brain. If W and shift are clicked, run, double the speed. Double the speed. If S and shift, run backwards, double the speed. So then in idle, yeah, so if get shift of running equals false, yeah. So in idle, if S get key and is running, play the idle animation. If W and is not running, boom. Right, so that should work how I intended it. Now we're back to square one, where we can run forwards and backwards. Right, yeah, but it's still doing that, yeah. So right, so what we need to do is do some more in the idling work. Right, so what will happen if shift is still down? How do we do it? Yeah, so I'm just going to copy these. So get key up, running equals true. So if running still equals true, but the get keys have been made to be stopped, it's gonna still equal nil. So we're not going to be running anywhere. So we'll click play, host, walk backwards, run backwards, take our hand off of S, and it's still running backwards. Why is that then? just do it? And then equals true. Oh no, I'll tell you what I could do. And is running, so if it's, and is running equals true, is running equals false. Right, that should work now. So it's not going to work. I don't know why I thought it would. Yeah, no, it's not. How did I just do it? I just had it. I just did it. Oh my god. I just did it. Right. For goodness sake, it's not rocket science. Right. So right. Let's start. Let's do this, right? If we're just clicking shift, it needs to equal 0, nothing. Let's just try this. If it's just left shift on its own, running equals false, and animation state is 0. We don't need to be playing any animations if I'm just clicking shift. But if I'm clicking a button and shift, so if I'm clicking both, there we go. There we go. Why? I'm still gonna get a bug. Don't know what bug I'm getting, but I'm gonna get one. Why is running still equal true? It's not. So what's going on? a fucking... Let's have a gander. having this much trouble just getting some fucking walker done backwards, mate. It's fucking... Must be an easy way of doing this. Oh, right. Consider me gone. Right, I'll be back in a second. I'm just gonna nip for a wee. Right, let's fucking sort this out. There must be an easier way to do an input system than fucking messing around with this. Because, quite frankly, it's blagging my head. It should work. I don't get why it's not working. If you run forwards, play the animation. If you run backwards, don't play the animation. I just want it so that if you're just clicking shift, then wait. If you're just clicking shift on its own, I don't want it to be able to run. That was working, but then backwards wasn't working. So I'm running off. What? This is fucking with my head. Duplicate, right? Take that off. I'm just nulling out everything now. That's it. So run, shift, hold shift, run. You're not doing it anymore. Right. Go backwards, run. Hold shift. Still running. Fantastic. Shift up, not working. That's just not working anymore now. That's completely not working. This is fucking ridiculous. Why is it just not working if I'm clicking S? Let go. It's just if is running equals false, don't do all. What? Oh my god! Right, I'm gonna have to stay there. I'm walking. Bull is walking. False for now. Bull. Right, for goodness sake. Right, get rid of this. Idling. If and is running, so is walking. And so is walking equals true. That's that. So then messy code until it works, then sort your code out. Because quite frankly, I just need it working because it's too amazing now. So if not running equals false, if blah blah blah. Right, so what we're going to do is, if is walking, no, if is walking, so if we're not walking and is not running, anim dot set integer animation state, and that's going to be 0. So if we're not walking, and we're not running, don't do alt. So even if we've got the left shift down, it's not going to do alt. And to solidify that, what I can do is I can do this. If input, so if I'm clicking shift, it sets them both to false. So if I'm clicking shift on its own, it's setting them both to false. So if they're both false, you're not doing alt basically. I don't care what. That should work. There should be no reason why any of the animations are playing other than the idle animation after this point. Forward, running, stop. Walking, running, stop. Backwards, running, stop. They're both equal in false. So why is it still running? Why am I still getting an animation playing? Why is running backwards still playing? What an idiot. What an idiot. I'm doing all that. Running backwards is not going back to idle because it hasn't got a transition. Oh my god. So -2. That's why it's not doing it. I could have. It's going to work now. Watch. 0. So if it's equal to 0. No, if it's equal to 0. If it's equal. Set timer. So now. That all should just work. There should be no. All that time. See what I mean about the spider web? So we have to. My god. Right, that's set up. Oh my god. That was bizarre. Right. Walking backwards. No, walking backwards and walking forwards can stay there because then it's letting it all out. So that technically now, if I was to, so how was that set up? Let me just double check. So essentially what should happen is, because there's no running backwards, if I was to go straight to walking forwards, it should just walk forwards. There should be no problem. So if I just go, if I go from running backwards, because there's no, right, run backwards, W off. Right, there you go. Yeah. But that's never going to happen. You're never going to. I should really do it. Right. So running. Yeah, that's got a transition. I should do it, just because on the off chance it's going to end up doing it, innit? And then you'll be walking forwards. So walking back's -2. Walking forwards is 1. So now we should have no bugs. We should, if walk left and walk right, they're all going to have to be synced up with each other. It's all going to have to be like this massive continuous circle of just everyone interlocking with each other. So every single animation is going to have to be intertwined with every single other animation to make sure that there's no bugs involved in the whole animation system. No matter what, like you'd never click Shift and S and W at the same time to walk forward. You'd always let go of Shift and S and then click W. It's just how it always works. So if I'm Shift and S in, and I click W, and then let go of Shift and S quickly, it should walk forward. But it don't. And that's because we've done a bool within the actual. I know why it's happening. So even though the transitions are set up, so when we let go, transitions go to say walking forward. What's actually happening is because when we click an S, we're walking forward is still activated. So if you just look closely at that, walking is walking. So if we walk backwards, you see how it's still there, like is walking still technically working. It's on, blah blah blah. If I click W now and then let go of S, I'm still going to be walking backwards because that's the animation that was initiated when is walking was enabled true. So what needs to happen is, see how it is walking. So if I click S now, is walking, you'll still be walking forwards but going backwards. Does that make sense? Like the actual player's not going to notice that because their hands are still up. So like no matter what, the player's not going to notice it. But if you're playing and I click S and then start walking backwards, oh, it's actually click S. No, right. So if I run forwards, click S and run backwards, I'm running backwards but forwards. You know what I mean? It looks like I'm doing a moonwalk because initially I'm still running with forward animation playing. So that's why that's not doing that. So we've worked that out. So now we just need to make the code better because essentially it's the code that's doing this. So it's not rocket science to make all the animations intertwine with each other. It's just hard keeping tabs on the numbers that we need to actually get things going, right? So if you're clicking forward and then you click A and forward, you want to be walking left, right? But if you're walking back and forward and then you switch straight, you're never going to do that. You're always going to just lift your hand up and always play like that. But we don't want people testing it. So we need a better way of doing this. There must be an easier way. I think I'm gonna have to go do some research on this because there must be an easy way of doing this. Like, for instance, all I'm doing now, literally, is going from idle to walking forwards, walking backwards, running forwards and running backwards, and I'm this confused. So when it comes to the fact that when you want to be running left and so say you're running backwards, right? So you've got W, you've got Shift and S, but then you click Shift S A, you want to be able to say oh my god, this is fucked. Right, guys, I'm going to leave it here and I'm going to go do some research on like animations and the best way to deal with animations because this current way just isn't cutting the mustard. I thought I could do it, but there's just way too many animations to be dealing with the whole scenario, and this animation it's just too, it's taking up most of my. There's 100 and well, I didn't open that to be fair. Hang on, just let me open everything. There's 38 lines, 138 lines of code, and the majority of them is the animations handler to handle the animations, and there's got to be an easier way. There has to be. There actually has to be, because I can't. This is. It's not bad if you're dealing with 4 animations, but now I'm gonna be dealing with 12, 13, 14 animations. I mean, I could slug through it and melt my brain in the process of doing it, and it'd work, and I could get it working, but I'd have to slug through it. But there's got to be an easy way. I said do things dirty, but this is just taking the biscuit. This is just like putting yourself out on a limb and not. It's not. There's a correct. This is not the wrong way of doing it. It's just a very long process of doing it, and it shouldn't be this hard. Should not be this hard. So, on that note, guys, I'm going to leave the stream here. Thank you to whoever watches after this. Obviously, people watch after I've streamed. So, thank you very much for watching. I'll be back on another stream. I might even stream again later after I've done some research. But for now, guys, I'm going to leave it here and just go rack my brain, watch some YouTube videos, read some forums, look at some other people's code and see how they've done it, just to kind of get some inspiration on how to deal with this whole animation system, because there has to be an easy way of doing it. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. Until the next video, I'll see you again. Goodbye.